Okay, so the first time I visited Japan was about 15 years ago in 2008. And like most people, before coming to Japan, I had a lot of preconceptions of what it would look like. So I imagine people walking around in kimono in a futuristic city with lots of neon lights and maybe some crazy happenings going on, maybe someone dressed in an anime costume or something like that, right? And the reason I thought Japan would look like that is because there wasn't much social media back then. Everything I'd seen had been on late night TV or in video games or anime. And now I see it's like very naive of me to think that, but I'm just being truthful with what I genuinely thought. But interestingly enough, when I took my pictures, I chose to take pictures that resembled the preconceived version of Japan I had in my head, rather than capture the real nuance of what I was feeling. And maybe that's because I hadn't lived there yet, or maybe it was because I was just beginning photography back then. But I thought it's an interesting subject to point out how your photography changes over time, whether that's because you're spending time in the place or because you're just getting better at photography. And one thing I should point out is I'm not saying that taking cliche photos of Japan aren't fun or they're bad. It's more of me looking at my own photography and comparing it to how it was back then to how it is now. And that's for better or for worse, because I'm sure there are people that prefer these images rather than the new images that I take now. And I'd also say that this subject that I'm talking about isn't really confined just to Japan. I think anybody who's moved to a new place feels the same way, that when you first get to the place you kind of take the images that you've preconceived, and then as you get to know the place and the people in it, you as a person become more aware of the things and happenings that are going on around you, and ultimately I think that probably makes you better at photography. I thought I'd start this little video series because I enjoy teaching and I enjoy talking about photography and films and whatnot. So this is my video. I hope you like it. Hopefully I can make some more. Okay, bye.